Colorado's Piceance Basin, scenic, remote, and the site of a Chevron tight gas project that is expected to make a significant contribution to U.S. energy supplies for years to come. Chevron has owned land in the area for 3 decades, but development now coincides with increasing demand for energy.
The Piceance program is a very large program. We're going to be developing approximately 33,000 acres here. We'll drill over 2,000 wells. We think each well will have 300 to 600 foot of pay. So it's a very, very large prize for Chevron and for upstream.
The Piceance development program is well aligned with Chevron's overall corporate strategy to profitably grow our natural gas business. Plans are to develop 3 trillion cubic feet of gas over the next 20-plus years, with peak production reaching 300 to 350 million cubic feet per day.
One big difference between Piceance and other projects is that we're a series of facility projects and commercial agreements that are built around a continuous drilling program. Also, one thing that makes us very different from exploration type projects is that we have completed all of our delineation wells, so we know that we have a good reservoir here. What we're about is optimizing our operations, optimizing our facilities, our commercial decisions, and our drilling and completion operations.
The drilling rigs at Piceance Basin are built specifically for this site. 2 state-of-the-art rigs are currently in place. From a single pad, up to 22 directional wells can be drilled by simply moving the structure along a skid, allowing for maximum efficiency and minimal environmental impact.
We've broken some fairly large milestones in being able to drill wells from a 22-well pad, 7.5 feet apart. You begin to understand that those that deal with directional drilling, as you get 1,000, 2,000 feet down and you started only 7.5 feet apart, the ability to stay away, the wells to stay away from each other, is a large feat, and it's something that at the start definitely made us all very concerned, but we've developed our processes such that now it's very smooth.
Each rig can drill up to 2,200 feet laterally from its surface location, and the project plan calls for 4 to 6 of these specially designed rigs.
Directional drilling in this project is I would say, key to the success of the whole project. Sure, other people are using directional drilling, but we're using it to the limit. I think we're pushing the envelope on the capabilities of directional drilling, and what directional drilling allows us to do is to shrink our footprint, which I think everybody wants to see happen. I mean, certainly Chevron wants to see that, the community wants to see that. And as we look around this countryside, water is at a premium. So we're using what we think is a state-of-the-art solids control and dewatering technology to literally squeeze the waste down to as small a volume as possible. And the other side benefit of that is that we get water back out for recycling. And that's, again, where we are pushing the limits on this technology. So this is a very important technology for us that I think will become important all over the world.
Another technology milestone is the construction of the 8-mile, 30-inch diameter pipeline that will transfer the natural gas to third-party pipeline tie-in points. The cross-company pipeline team includes staff from Chevron Pipeline, Energy Technology Company, and Chevron North America Exploration and Production.
We felt it was important to keep this pipeline, this project, within Chevron for a few reasons. One very important reason was we thought this was the best opportunity to bring what our pipeline experts know and bring to bear, but also to be able to exploit and leverage what our local operating people know. They know how to operate and build facilities in these valleys, on these mesas, in the adverse winter conditions. So we felt this was the best partnership to be sure we brought the best of both groups together.
This project for Chevron is very, very big. It has a lot of potential value. The Mid-Continent group has been really working hard to bring in a lot of points of view, a lot of different types of expertise, pipeline just being one of them. And by all of us working together and bringing our respective points of view and our expertise, we can truly find the best value, maximum value for Chevron in a project like this.
The rugged terrain at Piceance called for innovative and specialized technology.
We're starting in a canyon, and at the bottom of the canyon, the elevation is about 5,500 to 6,000 feet, and we climb out of the canyon on this little, what we call the little hill, to get up on top of the mesa, and it'll run up this hill, which is about a 2,000-foot climb. And then once we get on top, again, it goes across these rolling hills, and the total pipeline's about 8 miles long.
Getting heavy materials up grades that can be as steep as 44 degrees presented challenges for the project team.
Obviously, driving up that with a piece of equipment, track or not, would be very difficult. And they have a piece of equipment that they specially have modified to work on this, to where the tracks are at an angle to the cab.
Even safety testing had to be modified at Piceance. Normally, hydro testing, a pressure test in which the pipeline is filled with water, would be employed. But because of the severe elevation changes at Piceance, the weight of the water became a factor.
So we couldn't do a hydro test, so we had to do on this a special thing. It's a nitrogen test. And we'll validate just this section right here, which is about 3,500 feet long, with nitrogen.
Crews at Piceance are going the extra mile to minimize environmental impact in this secluded, unspoiled terrain. Erosion controls and fences prevent erosion of valuable topsoil in the arid rocky basin. Buses bring workers to and from the site to minimize traffic. Food brought onto the site has to be packed out at day's end. And everyone is careful to disturb the native plants and animals as little as possible.
One of the things we tell them is that we want it a lot cleaner when we leave than it was when we got here. So we try and keep people to pick up the trash and stuff, whether it's ours or not. We try and get them educated to the fact that the animals and stuff in the area basically have the right of way. We don't want to impede their movements or their natural, habitat any more than we need to. The ground that we're working on is, it's pretty rugged, but yet it's very fragile area that we're in, so we want to again maintain as small impact as we can, and then when we revegetate, we'd like it to come back a lot better than it is right now. The Wolf Creek area up there where we came down to that, we've actually moved our right-of-way a little bit to go around the spring and avoid crossing the creek itself and also impacting the spring. We don't want to disturb that in any way. How we treat the ground and put it back, to me, is of concern, and I think it's looking good. I'm proud to be associated with the way Chevron's doing it.
Chevron is working very hard to maintain this pristine environment. Just driving up here, I often think, boy, I'm really a lucky guy. I get to work in this beautiful and wonderful place, and also that I get to work for Chevron, that I firmly believe is committed to keeping this place beautiful and wonderful. I mean, our job here is to extract the gas which underlies this countryside, but in a way that we have the minimum impact on this land. Once we move up onto the mesa, that will bring in a whole new basket of challenges and problems to face when, very severe winter conditions, very difficult access because of the elevation change. Just the remoteness, will be a big challenge.
In the third quarter, we'll be bringing on our first set of production from the Piceance field. We'll be bringing delineation wells online, as well as wells we've drilled in 2007 and 2008. And then in the first part of next year, we're going to be bringing on our first large facility. It will be a 50 million cubic feet a day compression and dehydration facility that will allow us to bring the next group of wells online.
The production forecast right now runs out anywhere from 50 to 70 years. That's how long they could be producing gas. So, and these pipelines, we build them to last a long time.
So it gives us an opportunity to learn how to do something new. Because Piceance Basin is such a big focus for Chevron for many years to come, we feel like what we learn on this project can be applied to many others in the future.
I'm proud of the fact that I've got to participate in this. I mean, it's something that, you know, being from the area, I could look back and say, yeah, I helped on that job over there a little bit, and you know, we did it right, and that's, you know, I like that. It feels good.